Hello. Yep, I'm making another video. I didn't see this coming, nor probably did you if you're watching this, but I saw this topic and decided, you know what, I would do it. Because I'm gonna try to record an art video later, hopefully, and I was like, what, I need something to be uploading while I'm working on making the art video. So I was like, you know what, this is a good idea. So today we're doing 110 personal experiences to talk about, or, well, that's what I searched to get this in this list. 110 personal experience topics. These are all like questions, I guess, that I'm going to just kind of go through, answer to the best of my ability, and try to keep it as short as possible, considering there are 110 of these. Yeah, some of these I will simply just answer haven't had an experience like that, so let's kind of go into this. Question 1. Did you ever stick up for anyone? Or stick up for someone? No, at least maybe not directly. I don't remember a lot of my younger life. Maybe, but it's doubted. Describe your neighborhood bully. Bully. Never actually had one, because there's very few kids. There's very few neighbor. There's very few kids my age, at least, that have ever been in my neighborhood. So no. Did you ever hitchhike? No, I guess I've kind of been lucky enough to never have to be in that type of situation. Did you or do you have a paper route? No, I have never been a paper boy, I think is the correct term. Right about about a babysitting experience. I've never babysat before, so you know. Describe a great fort you built or a great game you played as a child. This I can go into. The game. So like when I was a kid, I was into this game called Webkins. You know, if you're one of my friends watching this, you've probably heard me talk about it once or twice, or even a few times, depending on how long we've known you. I've known you. But yeah, it's a good game. It's child friendly, definitely, and a straight up interesting concept for a game, considering you had to. It cost money, but it was free to create an account. But you had to pay. You had to buy a stuffed animal, and on that stuffed animal would be a code. They have a little like thing tied to their hand, and in that little plastic container, you would get a code. You type that in at the adoption center, since it's a game about animals. You type in that code, and you get the webkins in game, name it, gender, everything, and it's a nice little game. Definitely with an interesting concept of real world activity. Write about an enemy who eventually became your friend. I've never had any type of situation like that or scenario like that. Maybe people I've been on the fence about or had a dislike, but never really like this. Did you ever fall through ice? No, I've never been like anywhere near ice where a situation like that could come up. Write about a time you cheated and were caught. Never happened. Write about a privilege you've earned. No, I wouldn't say I've earned any privileges. How did you get along with your cousins? Now this is a bit more personal, I guess, but I have multiple cousins, but I have like four main cousins that I have like a more direct relationship with than the rest of my family. Except for like one cousin, but it was kind of like the scenario like you meet them once and they're like really fire to hang out with. So, but yeah, I have like four main cousins that I know and have a personal relationship with. I guess kind of born getting along with them, grew up getting along. So yeah, write about stray animals you brought home. Now, in my time, my life, I've owned pets, maybe about like two mice, but that's not really that doesn't count. In my house, there have been two cats and two dogs at this point in time in total. They're not really a stray. Of course, they've never really been strays. They've been adopted, animal shelter. But in my lifetime, like animals, I've had two dogs and a cat. The other cat, in case you're wondering, it was my cat technically, but like wasn't mine. Like I wasn't alive we got when the cat was adopted. So describe an event that made you realize you were growing. Um, every case of school, public school, will make you realize a lot of things. Did you ever send away for something that turned out to be a disappointment? Considering I don't know what this means, I'm gonna say no. Did you ever prove yourself to someone older? Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I played online games against other people, so maybe. But like IRL, no. What's it like to go shopping with your grandma, mom, or friends? I've never been shopping with my grandparents. My mom, it's a bit more kind of like mom shopping, it takes a while. Friends, again, I've rarely ever gone shopping with my friends, so. About a time you performed in front of an audience. Correction, I have performed in front of an audience technically, but it was a church Christmas thing, and I was like a toddler or something. I don't remember. I just remember it was like the whole like young class, and we were doing Christmas songs with bells. Write about a difficult decision you had to make. I've never really had one of those. I try not to make difficult decisions. Write about a time you found out something about yourself. No, I'm not going to answer that because reasons. Write about learning to skate, ride a bike, climb a tree, or to turn a cartwheel. I mean, I guess like most of the kids, I've learned how to ride a bike. I haven't been fond of climbing trees. Could I do it? Yes, I could climb a tree, but I just like it's not my interest. And skate, like skateboard, no. Describe learning to drive. No, because no. Did you ever get lost in a strange town? No. Were you ever locked in or out? Actually, once, yes. Luckily enough, I had one of my friends in my neighborhood, and no way to go away. I had no way to really like call my parents at that time, because I believe I did not have a phone. I didn't really have a way to call them, and I had like lost my key. I couldn't find it to get into my house. So yeah, I have been locked out. Did you ever witness a birth? No, I've never been fired. I've never been fired. I've quit a few things, personal projects, but I'm not going to talk about that. What was it like to spend your first night away from home? I mean, I've had definitely nights away from my home, hanging out with friends and stuff, or family, spending the night with family. I don't really remember what like my first experience was or how I felt. So, what was it like to come home after a long vacation? I tell you this, nothing feels good after being home, coming home after like a long vacation to like the beach or something, and you get to use your own shower. I don't know what about it feels like satisfying, but it does. Right about a disappointment? No. Something minor that turned into a big deal. I try to avoid those situations unless like talking about times where I've lied, but mm, like, something that flopped. Don't know what that means. 31. Write about a time you had to communicate with someone you couldn't understand. Um, I mean, I never really had most of my friends and people that I know that are speak other languages or English. They weren't born in like America or like another English speaking country. All my friends are like that. They've learned English considering they're all around my same age, so but they've learned English and speak it pretty well. So I've never really had that. Did you ever win or lose a contest? Yes, I've entered contests like giveaways and stuff and lost. Write about something you desperately wanted when you were a kid. Can't really. Did you ever see a ghost? Yes. Yes, I have seen a ghost. The story is actually a funny one, a bit, like kind of like, because it was when I was a kid. I'm not gonna get into it really, because we have a lot more of these things to go into. But if you're one of my friends, like I know like IRL, I've likely told you this story at least once. I mean, if you want those like that haven't heard the story and want me to, tell you, I'm willing. So, just ask. Did you ever run away from home? If so, how far did you get? I've never done that. Never run away. Write about the best attic or basement experience you've been in. That is an odd question. No. Did you ever know someone who had everything? I mean, that's the difference between it's like that one friend that that like their parent they be making like more money than you, so they got all the cool stuff, but everything like more like everything you've ever wanted. No. What did you do to assume yourself as a child when you had to wait for a long amuse yourself as a child? Oh, what did you do to amuse yourself as a child when you had to wait for a long time? I don't remember. The earliest things I can remember about when being a child, amusing myself, like before I had a TV and everything, and like a tablet or a phone, laptop, computer, was when one of my parents, my dad, had to work multiple jobs at one point, and I had to wait for him. Like I had to be with him at work, depending on like what job he was working. And so while I'm getting up at McDonald's at the earliest hour because my parents were about to leave me alone in the house. I don't think I was of the age exactly where they would prefer to leave me alone. So I had to go to McDonald's with my dad because that's where was one of the jobs he had. And so I would have to sit in the restaurant for a few hours. I had a tablet and some stuff in my book bag, but when that stuff ran out, like the tablet battery died or was too low was low enough to where you couldn't really do anything or else it would die. Whatever was playing on that McDonald's TV was the entertainment. So I would say that's like the only time I have ever watched My Little Pony and found it entertaining. Because when you got nothing else, that's finding something is the next best thing. So listening to the My Little Pony episodes, watching them, so it's really a good idea for entertainment. 39. Did your mom or dad ever make you wear something you hated? Not that I remember. 40. What is the earliest you ever got up in the morning for something exciting? Again, that's one of the questions I just simply wouldn't remember. Right up at a time you were talking to something, then regretted it. I can say this. It's more recent than so far as some of the other things I've kind of talked about. But it was a scouting trip to an indoor climbing place, an indoor climbing building, and I have like a fear of heights or a fear of falling. One of the two, maybe both, but I say fear of heights. And at a point, it was like a moment before we had to leave. They made it mandatory that everyone had to climb on this one wall and make it to the top and rappel back down. I didn't make, needless to say, I did not make it to the top. And um, I kind of had like a panic attack, and they had to like wheel me down. There was also another time, kind of the same situation, like rappelling. I was with one of my cousins and her fiance, her husband, I guess, correction. And, you know, we were at a park. It was a family moment. This one's even more recent, but it was like spending time with family. And, my cousin's husband, he was kind of showing us rappelling. And so we were rappelling off like a small um, stump off a small ledge. Again, I got talked into it by my cousin because I don't know why, even though I kind of deeply regretted it. And I couldn't go down the small hill because guess what? Panic attack time. Very cool. I literally couldn't move. And, yeah, it's like, okay, come on, I'm pulling you back up. We're gonna get you unhooked so you can walk down. I literally couldn't move because of that panic attack. That was cool. Were you ever in a helicopter, limo, race car, hot air balloon, submarine, or horse-drawn carriage? I've ridden a horse before. Yeah, kind of a family horse. Like that one family member that owns the horses. I've been in a hot air balloon before, but never gone up that high. Uh, did you ever forget something really important? Schoolwork. Like most of the stuff I learned in school. Experience in the hospital. I've never really been in the hospital, like for anything besides, as far as I remember, for anything besides, like checkups. Were you ever accused of something you didn't do? Not to my memory. Disastrous trip or vacation. Write about it. 46. Write about a disastrous trip or vacation. God, my English. It wasn't really disastrous. It was more like I was in Florida with some family, spending time with family, and we were out to eat in an Olive Garden, and it was raining really hard. Like streets were flooding. Police had to like redirect traffic off of streets that were flooding. You know, the Olive Garden's generators went out, and they came out. The electricity came back on. They came out, said, "Hey, we're on backup generators. Everything's fine." But yeah, that's the only real. That's like the most worst it's ever been. Were you ever given a responsibility you couldn't handle? Again, schoolwork, school projects. There's some school projects where that's kind of been. Raven, a fire, flood, tornado, or hurricane. I just discussed being in a semi-flood. So, did you ever have a secret language? Mm, no. Write about becoming disillusioned with someone you admired or respected. I can't say I really ever had that. 51. Describe the best concert, play, movie you've ever attended. I could say some of the best movies I've watched because they're like personal childhood favorites, but I've never been to a concert or like a play. Well, I have been to plays before, some of my cousins' plays, but I can't say I describe the best one I've been to. What is the best nickname you made up for a friend? I never really had that. I think never really done that. 53. Did you ever become friends with someone much older or younger than you? Did you ever make friends with a wild lost animal? Not a wild or lost animal, but I have made friends with someone older than me. I'm not gonna go into detail because it's a bit more personal. I just rather not go into it. But yeah, I have, because for my friend's sake. But yeah, I have made friends with someone much older than me. Write about a window or you broke or something valuable you lost. Never done any of that. Did you ever climb on the roof when your parents weren't home? No. Did you ever have save something from getting hurt? Not to my memory. Did you ever save you from getting hurt? No, I don't remember any. Did you ever catch fireflies, crickets, frogs, or snakes? I've encountered frakes. I've encountered frakes. I've encountered frogs and snakes before, uh, but I did used to catch fireflies when I was littler. Write about a time when you tried to help and ended up making things worse. More or less my entire life. 60. Did you ever break an important promise? Write about moving to another city. I've never moved before, and I've never really broken any promises. Describe an outdoor game you used to play. I know, like, at least all of us used to play tag as kid, like freeze tag, hide and seek, regular tag. Easy. Those are easy. Write about picking apples or berries. No. Write about building sandcastles or mud pies. I've never really made mud pies, and I don't remember building like any actual sandcastles. Did you ever meet a famous person? No. I mean, actually, yeah, I met. Um, it was at Dragon Con maybe a year or two from now, uh, ago. I don't really remember. I know it was like a year or two ago, but I actually met the actor that played a person on a sci-fi show that I'm actually named after, and I have a signed pop figure. I got a pop figure of the character he played, and when I went to go, like, it was a whole meet, and you take like a photo. And when I met him, he was like, "Hey, I'm named after. My first name is literally the character you played. Could you sign this pop figure?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, sure, bet." He was like, "Yeah, sure, of course." And now I have the pop figure sitting in my room in a display case. Describe a club you organized. I've never been in any clubs. Write about mowing the lawn, burning leaves, or weeding the garden. That's boring. No. Describe a car or bicycle accident you were in. Never been in any, luckily. I mean, I've been in maybe like what you call like close car accidents, but never actually been in one. but being a okay, let's take a moment to realize this. It's a glorious misspelling of about a butt, right? A butt being a misfit. I've never been one to my memory. Write about a day spent in another country. I've never been out of my country. I've never been out of America. I've never been out of the U.S. I have had plans on leaving the country for like trips, but so far haven't gone through with any of them. Write about a terrifying nightmare. No. Have you ever brushed shoulders with death? No. Was there a haunted house in your neighborhood? Depends on like what you mean by like the attraction type of haunted house or like a house that's naturally just creepy. Case I do have some weird houses in my neighborhood, but they're not because they're like haunted. There is one that I remember being especially creepy just because like it just like was ominous, but that's it. Uh, 73. Right about a time you had to wait for something you wanted. I guess waiting online at DragonCon to get that actor to sign my pop figure and take a photo. Right about a time that you outsmarted someone. That's a rare occasion. No. What was it like to get braces or class or glasses or braces? I think they maybe mean two types different braces, but I have glasses. My parents, they both had glasses, and for a while, I didn't have glasses. It was up until like third grade. Like I was already in third grade, and one day I just kind of walked in and had glasses, mostly because I was squinting at the board, and they were like, "Hey, what's up?" I tell you, you never get like so many looks until if someone, unless people are used to seeing you for like so much. I vaguely remember it, but I know I just one day I walked into third grade with glasses. Everyone was like, "Whack." Right about job hunting. No. Right about wearing high heels or a necktie for the first time. I'm a dude, I don't wear high heels, and I've never worn a necktie. How did you find out the truth about Santa Claus? Like, I kind of just, it's not like I really did believe completely. A part of me knew, go away. A part of me kind of, like, I guess knew that, something was up. I mean, can I say me did believe? 90 to 100% yes, I can say that. But, I just kind of grew up into being like, yeah, I knew. Right about seeing the ocean or the mountains for the first time. I don't really remember the first time I've seen oceans or mountains. Because I go hiking and I've been to the beach quite a lot, so. Have you ever broken a bone? I've dislocated an arm once, but no, I've never broken. Right about being into Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, 4-H, or some other. I've been in Boy Scouts, as I've already stated. And there's nothing really eventful. I can tell some more personal Boy Scout stories, like of stuff that I remember happening. That was cool enough for me to like continue retelling the story. But I guess we can save that for another time. Did you ever turn someone in or tell on someone and then feel badly about it later? No, I can't say I've ever been. I don't know you just heard that, but it just thundered. Just got done raining. Run about going back to school after your best summer vacation. Hmm. 84. Describe your playground or vacation lot. I've been to several playgrounds, and I don't know what it's referring to by lot. Like, what do you mean? Write about in 85, write about a time you embarrassed your parents or vice versa. I can say with like the vice versa whenever my parents use my middle name. Only my close friends know my middle name, and if you hear it, you kind of understand why, especially with this day and age. Describe learning from a fiend. I think they mean friend. And another amazing misspell. I can't really say I've ever had. I've learned about things such as video games existing and videos existing from friends, but that's about it. Describe teaching from a friend. That doesn't make sense. I think there's a grammar error there. I don't know. Have you ever taken a long trip alone? No. Write about a movie or book that had a very strong impression on you. I can talk about a TV show that had a strong impression on me, but not really a movie or book. Well, correction, There is a book that had a decently strong enough impression on me, enough to take it, like steal it. It was a fourth grade book I had in my fourth grade class called like A Dog's Life or something. I don't know. I'm too lazy to get up and go get the book and read the title, but I mean, it was good enough for me to steal it, and it's a good story. It's called like A Dog's Life. It's a stray dog's tale. Write about a write about a night. Write about a time when you gave someone good advice. No, describe the best time you've ever had in your life. I can't really say I've ever had one that can be like the best, labeled the best, yeah, but I've had a few times. Ooh, yay, this video is half an hour long. Let's go. This is gonna take like 3 years to upload. Write about the funniest thing that has ever happened to you. Again, this is no like I've lived, I guess what you could call a somewhat eventful life, so I've had a few funny moments, but nothing that's the funniest. Describe some person concentrating only on physical characteristics of a friend and not the complete person. Again, I've been lucky enough to really not ever know anyone like that. 94. Take an object out of your book bag, pocketbook, and describe it thoroughly. I'm laying down in bed with nothing in my pockets. No. Describe yourself from the point of view of a relative or friend. I'm a good friend, good cousin, good nephew. 96. Write an autobiography of a favorite toy from your childhood. If that was for like any of my like English language arts classes, I'd low key be down for that. Write about a special place and why that place is so special to you. My room, for obvious reasons. 98. Describe a place you before uh, um, uh, um um a bore a bore again another amazing error. I think it means describe a place you adore or fear to go to and include the mood this place conveys for you. Now again, that amazing spelling. I can't. I'm not gonna. I don't really care about that type of stuff. Again, like I said, I've seen some creepy houses and weird houses in my neighborhood, but that's about it. Select an object from your childhood and describe its significance for your as a child. I'm gonna call out like every grammatical error there is here so far. Uh, for you as a child, I am by like one of my first stuffed animals. I can't really call it first significant because that'd be disrespecting all my other stuffed animals, like my other first stuffed animals. But like again, my first ever Wetkins, that has led to actually being a big part of my life, learning about Webkins and growing up collecting Webkins plushes and being in kind of being in the Webkins um, fan base, if you can call it that. Describe your greatest goal in your life. I don't really have any great goals. I'd say maybe all of my goals for life are pretty great, so are they achievable? That's a different question, but I'd say they're pretty great. That was question 100. 101. Describe a person you admire the most in your life. No, because I can't really say I admire anyone in my life like that. To like admire the most, friends, family, they're all, well, friends and family, so. 102. Describe a special moment with your mom, dad, or sometime you'll cherish forever. I don't have many fond memories of my pet of when I was younger, so. And I have a few fond memories, like a good, funny, interesting, or just natural, like, moments in my life I'll never forget, but, like, none I would cherish forever. 103. Explain 10 ambitions you have. I don't really have any, so. 104. Describe your definition of freedom. This is going into a bit of controversial stuff, but yeah, it's basically right in the word freedom. Of course, there are laws, drawbacks. You don't want someone running around, kind of killing people. Describe your 105. Describe your definition of success. Bit obvious. The definition of success. 106. Describe what things you would like to, would be. Oh, describe what things would be like at school if you were principal. They would definitely be better than they are. Than how my principals treated things. 107. Describe the babysitting blues. Never babysat, so. 108. Tell about your emotions when coming to this school. I love how they refer saying coming to this school as stating a specific school. I mean, some like elementary, middle, high school. Of course, everyone has like kind of negative emotions. Sometimes like, ugh, I have to go to school again. And some people have like good emotions, like, oh, I get to go to school and learn today. I think it all kind of mellows out, and being kind of happy that you get to see your friend, going to school to see your friends, because some of my friends, like a big majority of my friends, are like people I know from school, and the people I know from school that I still go to school with, that haven't like moved away or gone to a different school. I'd say when going to school, being able to go hang out with your friends that you only really tend to only see at school definitely makes going to school a little better. 109. If you had the chance to go back in history, when would you go? Yeah, when would you go and why? I mean, I can't really give a specific place I would like to try time travel, but considering the wording of this question says go back in history, I can't say I want to go check out the future. Um, I don't know, maybe for more personal reasons, like, hey, I'm gonna go back in time and buy this, like, comic book or toy or item for, like, 10 times cheaper or something. You know, I'd probably go back for reasons like that, but not at a specific time or for a specific reason. 110. Write a law that you seriously believe should be in place and is not at this time. I'm not a political person. I try to avoid that. So no. Anyway, now that we're done with this fuck ton of questions or personal experience topics. Clearly, this article had a bit of spelling errors, but yeah, now we're done with this fuckload. We're finally done. This is 41 minutes. It's gonna take 5 years to upload. Anyway, if you sat through this, all comment, comment saying, "Hey, I watched the full thing." Comment, 100 and go away. Comment 110. Show me that you made it through the whole 41 minutes of pain and natural boring that is me rambling. Anyway, I guess thank you for watching. See you later. See you guys later.